Today I am jumping on to Escape from Tarkov to let you know about one of the best money making methods that I found recently when we were streaming live over on Twitch and of course YouTube at the same time. And of course you can find the Twitch link in the description down below if you want to watch along when we're doing these sorts of videos live. But mainly with this method, we are of course trying to hit up some of the marked rooms. It is something that I absolutely hated. If you're hitting up dorms or if you're hitting up the reserved marked rooms, they just seem to be terrible. Maybe about a week ago I hit up quite a few of the dorms marked rooms. I hit up quite a few of the reserve ones and they just seem to lose you money most of the time. However, with of course the latest patch and some of the updates that has been done as part of the Tarkov.community website that people have made suggestions for, marked rooms on streets seem to be handing out just roubles left, right and center. And with that being said, what marked rooms exactly are they? Of course, before we delve into this video, do me a massive favor. If you aren't subscribed yet and you enjoy Escape from Tarkov's PVE mode, be sure to subscribe down below. And of course, if you are already, you know what to do with that like button. Absolutely destroy it, and let's jump in. The first one, and probably the best one, is the Mysterious Room Marked Room, which is essentially Check 13. For those of you who know the name, but maybe don't know the official key name, which is the Mysterious Room Marked Key, this one is actually significantly cheaper than pretty much all of the other Marked Room keys. It's kind of one of the cheapest ones, actually, sitting at about 7 million rubles, and we'll actually purchase one of those and we'll be running these on the road to 2 billion series. We're trying to get as far up in rubles as possible, just trying to make some interesting videos, checking out weird ways of making some money on the game. But of course thought I'd start this on as this was something that I was finding, and you guys probably want to make a ton of rubles at the same time, cover your costs. Maybe you want to get to 1 billion or something like that. This is a great way of doing it. So Mysterious Room, of course, that costs or equates to 700,000 rubles per opening of the door. So if you open the door, it's 700,000. Whatever is in the room, that is what you're left with. That is the essentially what you can get back on those 700,000 rubles. So if we open it up, we get 1 million, we've made 300k profit. If we open it up, we make 10 million, we've made 9.3 million profit. And so over the course of opening all of these rooms, you are going to expect to get at least one key card. And of course, alongside that, you're getting weapons, you're getting cases, things like key card holders, you're getting keychains, all sorts of things that do spawn in the marked room. And those typically will make you around about 300k if you're picking up some of the high tier kind of weapons that you can find in there. It's also really useful to pick them up, especially if you've got max strength, because you can hold essentially 2 weapons. If you're running in with a pistol, you want to maximize how much money you're making. You can run in with a pistol, get to the Check 13 door, open it up, and then pop 2 of those into your primary and secondary weapon slots, and that means that you have no extra carry weight. It's not heavy. Of course, maybe because it's streets you don't want to do that, which is perfectly fine. I didn't really do it. And so once you do that, of course, you're hoping on the key cards. And in fact, in a recent opening that I did do, I managed to pick up a red and violet key card, which I did get from the floor. Now, the red and violet key card, just as an example, this was in one room, by the way, and we got a couple of other key cards as we were doing runs yesterday. The red one is sitting at 7.2 million rubles, so covering the cost of the key just from that one. And then the violet key card sitting at, let's have a look, if we go down, is sitting at 5.2 million. So essentially, in that one opening, I managed to make 5.2 million rubles. Now, of course, there is flea commission and stuff, but essentially we got the violet keycard for free just by opening it up, because the red keycard paid for our costs of the Check 13 key. And then all of the rest of these 9 openings that I'm going to do are going to be free. Like, every single one is just pure profit that we're making from the key. So if we get another key card, maybe it's worth 3 million, we'll make an additional 3 million. Anything else that we get on top of it, maybe we end up getting 3 key cards, maybe we end up getting more. All of these are going to be pure profit profit within the game. It is the perfect scenario to make a ton of money. And so all you have to do is hit one of these. Now, the other key is the Abandoned Factory Marked Room key. This one is slightly more expensive. And if we take a look at the total price of the Abandoned Factory, we're sitting at around 10 million rubles. Sometimes you'll see it go as low as about 9 million, sometimes even less than that. But essentially, it's sitting around 10 million. Now, you might be thinking, just as an overview, why are these Marked Room keys so low compared to something like the Dorm's Marked Room key and some of the Reserve Marked Room keys? Well, that's all down to the fact that the Alt F4 bug does not work on streets. You cannot open the keys and reset your raid by pressing Alt F4 in a local raid when you do run on dorms, like you can on dorms, and of course all of the other maps that aren't locked to a BSG server. If you Alt F4 out of a BSG server, you just end up back in the raid, and so yeah, it's just a complete waste of time. And so people aren't able to guarantee that they're getting keycards and make money that way by doing it, running in, checking, is there a keycard? Oh, there isn't a keycard. I'm not going to open. I'm going to reset my raid and then get my key use back. Of course, there is also the fact that some of these keys are required for certain tasks, like the Dorm's key is required for a certain task. But usually that only really impacts the price of the fact that if we have a look at the Dorms, hopefully it'll pop up. Marked room, here we go, 314, is the fact of the 1 out of 10 uses, because these are the ones that people buy. They open it once and they get their task done, as opposed to spending the, what, like 22 million or something like that, 25 million rubles on opening the key. Because even if you get a key card in every single one of those rooms, which is very unlikely that you'll ever even come close to that, you are still going to only make about 40 million, 50 million. So you make 25 million profit if you got a keycard in every single room, which is very unlikely and almost impossible. You're probably going to get like 2, maybe 3, which may cover the cost of the Marked Room key. And so you're not really making money running the Dorm's Marked Room key compared to, of course, the Check 13 key and the Abandoned Factory, because you only really have to get 1 green key card and you've paid for the key itself. So I'd highly recommend anyone trying to farm up and actually make some money on the game, they do go ahead and they do purchase some of these. I'm going to actually buy another one because we're going to use quite a few of these as we go through. Of course, there, Marked Room key, 6 million there for a 10 out of 10 use key, so pretty darn cheap. We'll also buy another Abandoned Factory. I think we've got a couple of these, and they do come on the market sporadically for significantly lower, so you can just sit there and you can essentially just check the price of these keys continuously. One came on for 9999, and you know, you can keep on doing that to save yourself a bit of money. You might pick one up for like 1 million rubles less or something like that for someone who's super impatient. But either way, in terms of getting there, what else can we do to make a bit of money when we're doing the run? Well, of course, there is the relaxation room, which you can pick up a key for really cheap. These keys are super cheap now. They're not expensive whatsoever. You can go ahead and pick these up for around about like 90k for a 1 out of 2 uses. I believe if we were to check the price of them, yeah, you can pick them up for like 70 to 90k rubles, or you can buy a 2 out of 2 use key, which is essentially sitting at around 140k rubles to 150k rubles. You can get moonshines out of the room very consistently. You can get 2, you can get 3 moonshines all in one go, which pays for like, I don't know, 20 raids worth of essentially the actual relaxation room keys. And it's really close to the Abandoned Factory, which means you can go ahead and open up the relaxation room and the Abandoned Factory really close together. So you're just adding loot to the amount that you're making in your runs. Combine that with the fact that you can also pick up the relaxation room key from the relaxation, like the negotiation room building, which is very close to Check 13. So it is like the perfect run. Check 13, relaxation room building, key spawn, then go to the Abandoned Factory, then to the relaxation room and extract, or vice versa, do it in reverse, whatever you want to do some tasks along the way, that sort of stuff. It is that simple. It is really, really effective, and this has made me an absolute fortune on just picking up keycards. I think we've so far out of 2 keys, and we've not even opened 10 uses on each of them yet. I have got myself, I believe, 2 greens. We've picked up another red, and we've got another red and a violet. So essentially very, very good. So we've made about 30, maybe 40 million rubles from literally just the key cards alone, and then of course the other items, and then add in relaxation room. We've probably made about 5, 6, 7 million just from that room. So you're making like almost quadruple your money in terms of how much you're spending to actually get the keys. In terms of the key that I would recommend first is to pick up the check 13 key, and then once you've made a bit of money, you can then pick up both of them at the same time and run them like continuously, so both of them together, and that is how I've made an absolute fortune. So these Marked Room keys, although most of the other Marked Room keys in the game are just not worth it at all right now, these definitely are. But beware, there are a few hot spots on the map that you'll find PMCs at, which is primarily near the relaxation room key spawn. You'll find PMCs are actually there. They can be on the corner of the building near construction, where you can exit via or exfil via the collapsed crane. So that is where they kind of can be. When you come around that corner, they can be sat there. They'll also be in like the little coffee shop on the corner as well, which is a little bit of a annoying fight to deal with, as well as the fact that they can be on the street next to the relaxation room key spawns. And of course, then you'll also find them occasionally within the abandoned factory warehouse. I've only found this once out of about 8 raids, something like that. And so it's really not too much of an issue for almost most people. I mean, most of the time, if you deal with the AI correctly, and there'll be a video very shortly coming onto this, you can definitely deal with the AI quite easily, and I'm going to show you how in those videos, provided you know a thing or two before you get into those engagements. So with that being said, I'm going to keep this video short, sweet, to the point, give you the tips for this room and the rooms that we showcased today, and let you know that that is how you can make a ton of rubles. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to subscribe down below, and of course like the video if you did like it, and I will see you in the next video tomorrow. Goodbye.